As loud cheers from many different creatures filled the big arena, Krylox, the current champion of the Galactic Games, struck a powerful final blow. His opponent, a huge Gruntarian beast known for its tough skin, fell down beaten. The crowd was shocked, and then they clapped and cheered loudly. Krylox stood tall, his armored skin shining under the bright lights, looking like a giant among others, unbeaten and proud. His win was not just about showing his strength. It proved he was a legendary hero across the stars, a message that no other warrior could beat him. As the cheers echoed around him, bouncing off the metal roof of the arena, everyone watching, from the cold miners of Frigida IV to the desert people of Sirocco X, understood why Krylox was both feared and admired as the top champion. The Galactic Games dazzled like a cosmic carnival, drawing entities from every corner of the universe to the neutral expanse of Zafira, chosen for its strategic location, equidistant from the galactic capitals, and its versatile climate. This planet hosted an event far surpassing routine competition. It was a grand fusion of cultures, a gathering of species from star systems, so remote and diverse that each iteration of the games unveiled novel surprises and alliances. These games transcended mere athletic contests. They were a vibrant crucible for the exchange of ideas, technologies, and diplomatic engagements, all veiled under the exuberant facade of sportsmanship. In a dimly lit room distanced from the festivities, Alex Carter watched the radiant displays on an aging holo screen that flickered with age. His apartment, little more than a cramped space decorated with remnants from a once-honored military career now stained, felt even more constricting during the broadcast of the games. Alex, formerly a respected lieutenant in Earth's elite forces, had been disgraced, a dark cloud extinguishing the light of his life. Now he dwelled in obscurity, tormented by the specters of his past, specters that seemed to taunt him with memories of faded glory. On the screen, amid a cacophony of alien applause, stood Krylox, the current champion. His imposing stature, encased in gleaming armor, mirrored the kaleidoscopic lights of the arena. Krylox's conquests were always decisive, his dominance indisputable. His latest adversary, a formidable beast from the armored depths of Grunta, lay vanquished at his feet. Krylox's triumph was not just a show of strength. It was an exhibition of legendary prowess that sent waves of admiration through the audience. Alex's gaze was locked on the champion, his emotions a turmoil of admiration and envy. Here was someone who embodied all that Alex had once dreamt of: honor, glory, had a legacy echoing through the cosmos. His own victories, though significant, now felt like distant whispers of a dream he had once lived. Despite his tactical acumen and resilience, rash decisions had led to a grave mistake during a pivotal mission, marring his record irrevocably. He often found himself ensnared in the downward spiral of his failures, unable to escape the shadow of his career's disastrous end. But that night, as he observed Krylox revel in the galaxy's praise, a shift occurred within Alex. It was as if the shackles of his past loosened, igniting a spark of determination. "I'll be there next year," he murmured to the empty room, his tone a mix of desperation and resolve. This pledge, made to the shadows, stood as a challenge to the cosmos that he was not finished yet. Fueled by newfound purpose, Alex turned off the holo screen and walked over to his old military trunk. He sifted through medals and commendations, each a symbol of past valor that he had not felt in years. That evening, under the soft glow of his lone lamp, he completed the application for the next Galactic Games. Each query on the form seemed to delve into not just his qualifications but his very essence, challenging his worth, his intentions, and his determination. Submitting his application, Alex experienced a mix of trepidation and thrill. The thought of entering the Galactic Games was intimidating. It was an arena where legends were crafted, and many were lost to obscurity. Yet, Alex recognized this as his avenue to redemption, his opportunity to regain a measure of dignity. Whether he would return as a victor or not, he was resolute to enter the arena, not merely to compete, but to remind the galaxy, and himself, of the man he once was and might yet become again. In the shadowed corners of a forsaken warehouse at the city's edge, Alex Carter launched his quest for redemption. The vast hall, once a hive of industry and noise, now resonated with a different sort of activity. Alex's lone training sessions. He had transformed the remnants of its industrial past into a makeshift gym, where alien technology meshed with crude earthly equipment, forming a grueling training regimen. The air hung heavy with the aromas of oil and sweat, bearing witness to the relentless hours Alex devoted to mastering not only the physical riders of the Galactic Games, but the mental battles he expected to endure. Alex's initial endeavors were humbling. The alien apparatus, engineered to replicate diverse planetary environments, often left him breathless and bruised. Devices that manipulated gravity disrupted his balance. Those that adjusted the atmosphere strained his breathing, and sudden temperature shifts pushed his endurance to its limits. Each session was a stark reminder of his mortal constraints, but with every setback, Alex rose again, fueled by a mix of desperation and resolve. With the passage of time, Alex's physique and prowess evolved. His movements became smoother, his reflexes faster, and his tactical thinking keener. He transitioned from merely reacting to the alien technology to predicting and leveraging it, transforming his initial struggles into advantages. Despite his rigorous physical preparation, Alex was acutely aware that the real challenge would unfold in the arena, under the galaxy's watchful gaze. The qualifiers for the Galactic Games were a celebration of interstellar diversity, attracting competitors from far-flung systems. Among them, Alex stood as the sole human, dwarfed by a multitude of unique entities. His first confrontation was against a Torkin wrestler, a behemoth with 4 robust arms, notorious for swiftly dispatching his foes. The arena filled with palpable anticipation, the audience awaiting the expected rapid downfall of the human contender. As the bout commenced, the Torkin wrestler charged with astonishing velocity. His 4 arms whirled menacingly, a formidable display that had vanquished many. Alex, however, evaded the initial assaults with surprising agility, his movements buoyed by meticulous training and strategic planning. Utilizing the wrestler's own momentum, Alex cleverly maneuvered him into a vulnerable stance and executed a precise sweep, toppling the giant. The audience's astonishment was evident as Alex stood over his fallen opponent, a clear signal that he would not be easily defeated. Hardened by this upset, Alex progressed through the early rounds, each victory bolstering his confidence. However, the physical demands of the competition soon began to manifest. During a crucial match against a nimble Zalorian fencer, Alex's knee buckled under a misstep, sending jolts of pain through his body. Although he emerged victorious, the injury was a stark reminder of his physical limitations. Compounding his challenges were the whispers that trailed him beyond the arena. Competitors and onlookers alike murmured about the disgraced soldier from Earth, casting doubts over his place among the elite. These whispers, echoing his past missteps, cast a shadow over his current achievements and tested his resolve. As the qualifiers concluded, Alex bore both the physical and psychological scars of his battles. He had demonstrated his ability to stand among the galaxy's finest, but at considerable personal cost. His knee throbbed persistently, a grim reminder of his human frailty, while the rumors gnawed at his spirit, inflicting wounds as real as any physical injury. Alone in his repurposed gym, tending to his injuries, Alex faced a pivotal choice: to persevere with the burdens of his physical and emotional traumas or to retreat. The answer, he knew, was in the arena's heart, where he sought not only to compete but to restore a part of himself lost long ago. The road ahead was perilous, but adversity was a familiar foe. The games were far from over, and Alex's greatest trials were yet to come. The semifinals of the Galactic Games escalated the intensity of the competition, sharpening both the physical and emotional challenges for Alex Carter. On the outside, he appeared as a formidable contender, having surpassed all expectations to reach this pivotal stage. Yet, beneath the surface, he was struggling, burdened by the shadows of his past and the mounting pressures of the present. As Alex geared up for his bout against an agile opponent from Vaxxer, known for their deceptive speed, he felt the sting of his previous injury with each movement. The pain shooting through his knee was a harsh reminder of his physical limitations. He tightly wrapped his knee, trying to brace it physically as much as he attempted to shield his psyche from the corrosive whispers and dismissive looks that seemed to follow him in the arena corridors. The match itself was a whirlwind of movement and tactics. His Vaxxarian opponent, a swift cascade of scales and muscle, moved with a disturbing elegance, easily circling Alex's more deliberate maneuvers. Alex parried one strike only to face another swiftly following, his adversary's agility nearly overwhelming him. The crowd's cheers faded into a distant hum, overpowered by Alex's intense focus. Despite the onslaught of pain and self-doubt, Alex managed to clinch a precarious victory through a strategic feint, exploiting a moment of overconfidence in his foe. Yet, as his hand was lifted in triumph, The applause seemed empty, tainted by the sheer effort it took not only to win, but to stand defiant against his adversities. Back in the quieter confines of the locker area, any relief Alex felt was fleeting. An overheard conversation among a cluster of officials, laced with scorn and disdain, cut deeper than any physical injury. Their words, "Why is he still here? A disgraced soldier. He shouldn't even qualify for the honor of the games," followed by mocking laughter, felt like acid burning through his resolve. This debate over his right to participate, peppered with references to his tarnished past, confirmed his gravest apprehensions. That despite his efforts in the arena, his past missteps still defined him to many. The weight of their words crushed him. Alex retreated to a dark corner of the locker room, the doubt in his mind now a deafening chorus. The looming specter of his former errors threatened to extinguish the small flame of hope his victories had kindled. In this low moment, the urge to abandon his quest for redemption was nearly overwhelming. Was his pursuit of vindication merely exposing him to greater ridicule and rejection? Perhaps his aspirations for honor and respect were mere illusions. Seeking solace, Alex drifted away from the commotion of the arena to the quiet of the archives. Amongst dust-laden shelves and long-forgotten records of the Galactic Games' history, he found a sanctuary from his turmoil. Here, buried in an overlooked archive, he discovered documents about the first human competitor in the games. These aged pages weren't just chronicles of triumph, but narratives of endurance and ingenuity. They recounted a time when humans, widely underestimated, had proven their mettle through creativity and resilience, carving a respectable place for themselves in the game's lore. Rejuvenated by these accounts, Alex felt a rekindled sense of purpose. His personal crusade for redemption mirrored the hardships and victories of those pioneering humans. This historical perspective became a beacon of hope during his darkest hour, reminding him that history wasn't solely written by the victorious but by the brave. Motivated by these stories, Alex resolved that his chapter at the Galactic Games wasn't concluded. It was time to carve out his own legacy, one that wouldn't be marred by past failures, but defined by his perseverance and courage to persist against daunting odds. The Galactic Games were set to witness an unprecedented resurgence of spirit, embodied by Alex Carter. Revitalized by the ancient narratives discovered in the archives, Alex entered the competition's final stages with a novel strategy. He fused historical human tactics with the sophisticated methods learned from his alien competitors. This innovative amalgam of old-world guile and new-age technology set the stage for what promised to be an epic confrontation. As the finals drew near, Alex revamped his training regimen to emphasize agility and cunning, traits that had been celebrated in the tales of his forebears. He trained in the quiet of dawn, when the arena was deserted, replicating the conditions he would face in the upcoming decisive match. His movements became a choreography of deception, each step designed to misdirect and outwit. Though the ache of his earlier injury persisted, it was relegated to a mere background discomfort, overshadowed by his razor-sharp focus. In these early morning hours, Alex crafted a suite of deceptive techniques, preparing to counter the strengths and anticipated strategies of Krylox, his final adversary. Krylox, celebrated for his brute strength and astute tactical responses, had yet to encounter an opponent whose style spanned centuries and star systems, one revitalized from the core of human resilience. The night before the final, Alex found solitude on the arena's observation deck, overlooking the field that would soon determine his fate. The arena, under the soft glow of Zathura's twin moons, seemed to resonate with the silent applause of ancient champions whose stories had reignited his drive. Reflected in the glass, Alex saw not just his own image, but that of a warrior refined by hardship. This contemplative silence was broken by the arrival of a group of young competitors, newcomers to the games from various species. Drawn by rumors of his unorthodox tactics and historical revival, they approached Alex with a mix of curiosity and reverence. What began as a tentative exchange quickly evolved into an energetic strategy session. Alex imparted his insights, bridging gaps across species and eras, and in the bright, eager eyes of these young competitors, he saw his own revitalized hope mirrored. This interaction transcended mere technique sharing. It was about building alliances and crafting a network of camaraderie that surpassed interstellar divides. As they parted ways, a sense of unity enveloped Alex, like a mantle of collective respect and shared aspirations. With the final hours before the showdown ticking away, Alex transformed from merely a contestant into a symbol of relentless human spirit. His march back to the locker room was with a stride fortified by a strategy enriched with the wisdom of many generations. He was poised to confront Krylox not only with physical readiness, but armed with a game plan steeped in the collective sagacity of humanity. The looming final match was more than a test of physical might. It was a demonstration of humanity's persistent spirit and inventive legacy. The arena of Zafira was electric, charged with the collective anticipation of diverse species, each awaiting a final that would undoubtedly carve its mark into the annals of Galactic Games history. Alex Carter, a human once shrouded in disgrace, stood poised to challenge the formidable Krylox, a champion whose record was pristine, untouched by defeat. As the climactic match ignited, the atmosphere was thick with the fervor of the spectators. Krylox donned in a radiant exoskeleton from his homeworld, radiated confidence, a byproduct of his unbroken chain of victories. In stark contrast, Alex was clad in a simple combat suit, its enhancements drawn from interspecies collaborations, a testament to human resourcefulness and adaptability. The opening exchanges were tentative, each contender probing the defenses and strategies of the other. Krylox deployed his usual arsenal of brute strength and time-tested tactics. Alex, however, infused unpredictability into the duel. His maneuvers were an intricate blend of ancient human strategies and alien technological insights. He deftly maneuvered around Krylox's offenses, employing cunning feints and elusive tactics that left the seasoned champion perplexed. A pivotal moment arrived when Alex utilized a lesser-known human strategy, presenting himself as seemingly vulnerable. As Krylox launched a formidable strike, anticipating a swift victory, Alex unveiled a counter-strategy, a hybrid of archived human maneuvers and alien grappling techniques. This unexpected move used Krylox's momentum against him, tipping the balance and unsettling the champion for the first time. Subscribe for more stories. The audience, initially partisan towards Krylox, was taken aback by this turn of events, their roars of support transitioning into cheers for Alex as he seized the advantage. The battle evolved from a mere display of physical might to a riveting chess match of wits and tactics, where brute force met its match in guile and resilience. As the final sequences unfolded, Krylox rallied, unleashing a barrage of attacks. But Alex, fortified by lessons in psychological resilience from his encounters with the monks of the Serene Vortex, was unshakable. Each of Alex's counters was meticulously planned, designed not only to thwart Krylox, but also to challenge the champion's approach. The climax of the match saw Alex artfully guide Krylox into a vulnerable stance, combining low-gravity combat techniques with mental stratagems. With a swift and decisive maneuver, Alex secured a grip on Krylox that had never been seen before in the games. The audience gasped as Krylox, in a historic first, conceded defeat. The victory was profound and echoed across Zafira. Alex had not merely triumphed in the match, he had dismantled the myth of Krylox's invulnerability. Beyond the immediate win, he showcased the immense potential of human creativity and spirit. The crowd, a vibrant tapestry of countless worlds, stood in unanimous applause, not only to herald a new champion, but to acknowledge a new chapter in the Galactic Games, a chapter where humanity was acknowledged as a formidable presence among the celestial communities. As Alex gazed into the stands, he saw not mere spectators from distant galaxies, but peers bound by mutual respect and admiration. His journey from ignominy to glory was complete, not only redeeming his own honor, but also elevating humanity's stature within the Cosmic League. That night, the Galactic Games didn't just observe a new champion. They celebrated the testament to the enduring and indomitable spirit of humanity.